Hey friends, this is my project called The Trump Effect, and it's based on a post-election survey about populism in the US and 28 countries in the EU. So, first of all, the election of Donald Trump has taken the world by surprise and is fueling populist movements across the Western Hemisphere. Dahlia Research is a marketing consulting firm whose goal is to change the way that attitudinal data is collected, analyzed, and presented, with an emphasis on quality and depth of data. So basically their thing is that they design surveys specifically for data visualization and being informative and well-created questions also. But understanding a citizenry's attitude towards outsiders is a tremendous challenge, and some questions this dashboard visualization was designed to help answer are: what proportion of people trust the judgment of experts? What is the relationship between trust in the judgment of experts and disposable income? How is the income distribution different in the country as opposed to the cities? And what does a voter's worldview tell us about who they are likely to vote for? So this data set was pretty large, but I focused on 4 features, and those were the responses to: I'd rather trust my own judgment than the opinion of experts, with 5 options. What is your household's monthly income after taxes in pound sterling, with 13 options. Whom did you vote for in the US general presidential election, with 4 options. And which of the following statements do you agree with the most, with 2 options. So this is the visualization. The interactivity that I've implemented is all mouse over. So the first thing I want to point out is that mousing over these bars highlights the corresponding column in the heat map, and mousing over the bar segments for the stacked bar graph highlights the corresponding row in the heat map. Additionally, this pie chart has details on demand in that little box there. You can see the absolute count on the left and the proportion of the circle on the right. In addition, these bars have got it up in the top left, and mousing over the heat map cells just overlays it on top. The bar segments also have percent mouse over labels also. Now to the analysis. I won't read that, I'll just tell you about it. There are really 2 main takeaways here. The first is that so these 3 columns are pretty similar, but if you look at strongly disagree, it's got an extreme value there at the top, but it's also got a hot spot at 3200 to 4800. And here we see a hot spot at 800 to 1600. Mousing over the individual rows, you see that the hot spots are mostly in agree or strongly disagree, so it seems like the overall distribution here kind of dominates by row. But looking at the structure revealed by these 2, it kind of seems like there could be a trend here kind of in this direction, which would mean that people who make more money are, on average, more likely to trust their own judgment than the opinion of experts, which makes sense in a way. And this pie chart also has a story to tell. So you can see that people with positive worldviews are more likely to choose every option except the Republican candidate. They're more likely to vote for, in this case, Hillary Clinton, just plain not vote, or to vote for some other candidate. But what's interesting is that people with a negative worldview are, the largest segment in this pie chart is larger than the largest segment in this one. So they have greater unanimity in their majority. And finally, I attempted some clustering on this, but as you can see from these plots, there was an initial decrease, which in this case is bad because we're going for silhouette width, which is how similar each centroid is to each node in its cluster. But then it does go up here, and I just wanted to explain this away by saying, because of the categorical nature of this data, I think that these increases here are more an artifact of the kind of like the grittiness of the data, and that's not actually indicative of good clusters. So that's my project, and thanks for listening.